Sure, you got it. Yeah, you're going to be with me? Yeah, awesome.
Sit here
Awesome.
with you.
I like it.
All right, so it's Matt Rostemi, and we have a. I started doing interviews for political candidates, and I'm not a big fan of the system, so I want to give every candidate, especially the lesser known ones, a chance to talk and speak about themselves. And today we have Evan Hunt. He's a Democrat. Okay, you guys know I'm a Republican, but we need to talk to each other. Okay, so that's why I have Evan here. Evan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, everybody. I'm Evan Hunt. I'm running for Congress in Texas's 3rd District against the Republican incumbent, Keith Self. I'm a 20-year Air Force combat veteran. I'm a McKinney family man with kids in the public schools. And I've been in business the last 12 years helping technologies grow around the world that keep Americans safe.
Gotcha. All right, Evan, I gotta ask, like, what makes you want to run? Because like, it's one thing to like care about politics, and it's there to actually like do this. So,
Yeah.
what really got you like, okay, this is my issue, I gotta run?
Yeah, so when I was young, I thought I wanted to go into government.
Okay.
Right? I was a history and political science major. I interned for a few congressmen in college. But I came back from a year abroad in London, and September 11th hit when I was in my senior year at University of Pennsylvania. And that really changed my whole world. I felt called to serve in a different way. I marched down to the recruiter's office, signed up, became a combat aviator, flew around in the back of B-1 bombers, and served my country for 20 years. And I retired 3 years ago as a lieutenant colonel. And really, first of all, I missed that service because I had a way of serving. It was bipartisan service, right?
Sure, of course.
But I also, frankly, in the last couple of years, have gotten more and more concerned with the direction our country's been going. I'm used to a world where, George Bush tummy taps Obama as they pass each other. They're friends. There's a certain modicum of respect. And lately, the dialogue's gotten very divisive and very hateful.
I'll be honest with you, Evan. I don't like either one of Bush or Obama, but that's just me. But don't give me the resume. Give me like what got you to decide to run. Like everyone, like when I ran against Angela Paxton, Ken Paxton's wife for a Republican nomination, it was healthcare. I got tired of these damn insurance companies screwing me over.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's other issues too. So for you, like, what is the issue that, or maybe there isn't an issue. Maybe you just have like a service to the country. I don't know.
I have too many issues.
Too many
right?
issues.
Too many
Don't we
issues
all?
for a short podcast. But I mean,
But
yeah, I'm
what's
with
the
you on
top one?
healthcare. We've got out of control healthcare costs. We desperately need healthcare reform. I'm not a fan of just blanket universal healthcare for all, but I think we absolutely need to increase price transparency, increase competition. Mark Cuban's done this with his cost plus drugs.
You're not saying healthcare because I'm a doctor, right?
Well, no, I mean, no, I'm with you.
Listen,
But actually, if you're a doctor, the one thing I would tell you is another problem we have in healthcare is doctors don't make enough money and consumers pay too much. And we got all these middlemen in the system that
That's
are
very
leeching
true.
the system.
But here's the thing I want to ask you. It's like most of these politicians, most of these guys that run
Yep.
across both parties, they don't really believe in anything. Okay? No, I'm serious. But to be fair, there's like one or two issues they may care about. Like,
Yeah.
let's take Kamala Harris, for example. I don't like her. Okay? I didn't vote for her.
Yeah.
But I truly believe in my heart she does care about the whole abortion issue. Like I don't think
Sure.
that's not something she would compromise on.
Sure.
And whatever you think of Trump, I think he really believes the border stuff. Like he will not compromise on it. Okay.
Yeah.
All the other issues, these politicians will like, go here and here. What I'm trying to get at, as Evan, is like, what is your passion for politics? Like, what's the issue that animates you? Like, we're trying to get to know the candidate instead of the regular, like, what made you want to run? Well, I want to help people because I'm a good American. Like,
Sure. I mean, what is the one issue? I mean, so first
Give
of
me
all,
two.
I think there's a fallacy that you should have these single issue candidates that just like the whole reason they're running is because they're just passionate about abortion. That's not my deal. Like I will give you a direct answer on every single policy. Anything you want to ask, bring it to me. But frankly, I don't agree with anything this administration is doing. I agree with some of the what. Some of the like, oh, we want strong borders. Yeah, absolutely, we want strong borders. I can't defend why we had 5-6 million illegals come in 2021. I can't defend that. I work with border security people. They said they were told to stand down. There's no defense for that. But we need strong borders. Guess what? We have them. We had bipartisan legislation for strong borders before Trump came in. And then the other thing I would say is we desperately need to reform it now so that we treat people like human beings with dignity and respect.
Listen, I don't trust either party when it comes to the border. Okay.
Yeah.
They again, like Trump, I think he believes the border stuff.
Sure.
I don't think half the Republicans do. I think they're just talking. And I don't think half the Democrats even believe this stuff on abortion. I think a lot of this stuff is performative.
Sure.
Now, some of them do care about them, and that's why I've been trying to get to you is like, because I'm trying to see like,
Okay, so I have a war on the extremes. I am tired of extremism on the left and the right.
is that what got you like?
That's what
Really?
got me.
There you go.
100%.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I want to bring the conversation back to the middle, where the most reasonable voices in the room are the loudest voices in the room, where we actually have conversations like this, where we're
Gotcha.
actually talking to each other. We're not just yelling into echo chambers on social media with algorithms that are encouraging us to be
No,
divided.
I agree. It's atrocious.
You know what I mean?
What is your thoughts on the? I don't know if you put out a statement yet, but on the Charlie Kirk's assassination.
I mean, my thoughts are it was absolutely terrible that he was assassinated, especially in such a public way. And I admire the fact that Charlie Kirk built a career and built a life using free speech, engaging in open political debate.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I agree with him on his assertions that
Sure.
we're a Christian nationalist society and his sort of thoughts about women and men. I have a lot of open disagreements with Charlie Kirk. I would have loved the opportunity to engage with him
Gotcha.
in political debate.
So you're you would say like a reasonable, moderate, and quite frankly, I think probably most Democrats think like you. Unlike some of these weird cases, you see people celebrating his death.
Yeah, I think most Americans actually are in the middle. I
Yeah.
think you know how it is. You have 10, 20% on the ultra right, 10, 20% on the ultra left
Sure.
at most. And everybody else in the middle, the second the news comes on, they flip the channel. They want to hear about it.
Yeah.
So we got to get the middle back engaged. And the
Okay.
middle is also the middle class. So I'm trying to rebrand the Democratic Party from it's a party of California and New York right now. I'm trying to rebrand it
Gotcha.
back to its Texas roots, which is to make it a party not about the 1%, but the 99%.
How long-
So real issues, public schools, right? Healthcare, kitchen table issues, cost of insurance.
Sure, sure.
All that good
How long
stuff.
have you been? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 45.
Okay, you're 45. When did you first vote? Like what? Well, I guess probably like what?
I mean,
20
I was
years
18,
ago?
so 1998.
Something like that, 1998. Okay. And have you always been a Democrat, or have you been a Republican, or have you? I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like, are you? Because you say you're a center guy. Like, have some presidential elections you vote one way, some in the other. Is that fair to say?
No, I mean, like everybody, I mean, I kind of subscribed to one party when I was young, and I actually was very open to voting for a Republican candidate if there was a good one.
Gotcha.
I just always tended to vote Democrat. I mean,
Gotcha.
I was, I grew up in New York City originally. My parents were Democrats. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you like, oh, I'm just this amorphous, like I bounce sides. But also,
I have no problem with that as
Yeah,
long
yeah.
as you can back it up. So you basically never voted for a Republican.
no, but I have
Okay.
donated to Republican.
Friend
A
of
guy that
yours
I
or
worked
something?
for,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that happens. People do.
Congressman Ponch Garcia, who won in California. He was a fighter pilot.
Oh, okay.
I worked for him when I was at Raytheon.
Well, I support any Republican getting elected, so thank you.
Well, there you go. I mean, he's a great human being, right? And for me, part of the thing is it should be people over party.
Gotcha. And even if you had voted for other people, I wouldn't mind. Like me personally, I voted for Trump last time.
Yeah.
The time before that, I voted for Biden, and the time before that, I voted third party. You know, and
Well, that sounds like because you're a thoughtful person.
yeah, and I keep regretting every single one of my votes. So, so hopefully, you just gotta like see what's available. But no, I understand that. But it also brings to the partisanship of just the elections. Okay.
Yes.
Here's the reality: gerrymandering happens everywhere. Happens
Yes.
here, happens in other states too. You're running against Keith Self in District 3. Let's be honest. He beat the Democrats last time by like 25, 30 points each time.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, it's not because people love Keith Self. They just saw the R and they picked the R, okay?
That's right.
Like, that's just how elections work.
That's right.
How are you going to overcome this?
Okay, so a couple things. Yeah, I think Keith Self's gotten lucky. I think he was part of a red wave. He kind of rode a Trump wave when he got elected, and he's been there ever since, just by kind of echoing Trump. I mean, he literally posts Trump's first 100 days are the best 100 days this cycle in presidential history. I mean, I don't know who can stand by that and call themselves American. I like Trump, but I would not agree. So when you talk about gerrymandering, they did gerrymander third district. We used to be 2 counties. Now we're 7 counties.
Yeah, it's worse now.
Both
If you're-
sides.
If you're a Democrat, for us, it's fantastic.
I don't know. I don't know if it's worse. I think there's a good chance nobody really knows because the demographics have changed so wildly here.
Evan, come on, man. It's a Cook PVI district plus 30R.
Oh, yeah,
People are
yeah.
not going in there. Differentiate. You could be the best guy ever.
Well,
And-
look,
and he could be he could be on the Epstein list, and he has an R next to him. He's going to win the election. I mean, I'm sorry.
when they look at
By the
who-
way, that applies to Democrats in their gerrymander districts too. That's just the name of the game.
So a couple things. One, just to sort of set the dialogue straight on gerrymandering. it is very common for gerrymandering to happen
Mm-hmm.
every 10 years
Mm-hmm.
after the census.
Mm-hmm.
It is very uncommon to have
Mm-hmm.
an out of cycle gerrymandering happen because the president asked for it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what we happened in this case.
Well,
And it
that still
was,
doesn't fix your situation, Evan. How are you going to overcome a 30-point deficit in a red
well,
district?
that's what I was going to tell you. These differences between, like in that you mentioned with self winning, 20 points. That's very candidate dependent. It was very timeline dependent. People tend to look at the presidential elections
Do you really
for.
think it was candidate dependent?
I do. Yes.
I don't know, man. I think people just go in there. I think they gerrymander it because they know exactly what the result they want. That's why gerrymandering happens because they know,
Sure.
like, hey, doesn't matter if it's a blue district, you could put dog shit on the Democratic primary. If it's a red district, you could put dog shit as the Republican candidate,
Yeah.
and they're going to get elected. Now, if you were in a swing district where it was like 5 or maybe 10 points, it could be a wave. This is a red district, my
Well,
friend.
let me tell you,
Give me some specific strategies.
it's a little
'cause-
bit of a myth because I'll give you a good example.
Go ahead.
20% of this district is Latino.
Okay.
Trump's popularity with Latinos is down like 35-40% right now. Okay. You've got most sort of bipartisan pollers saying there's going to be a 20-point swing this election. 20 points. So 20 points means an R plus 10 to 12, or even after we were gerrymandered, we became an R plus 12 to 14. That puts it very much in striking distance. And I'm not an average candidate. I'm also a veteran. Keith Self never ran against a veteran
Evan,
before.
you could be the best guy ever, but
Yeah.
last time Keith Sell won by 24 points.
Yeah. Well,
It's going to be even worse now with the gerrymander.
You know who he ran against?
He ran against a guy who had the letter D next to his name, and he had a letter R next to his name.
It wasn't as simple as that. He ran against Sandeep Srivastava, who is a first-generation immigrant, an incredibly impressive guy. But with a name like that around here, that's difficult in itself. Sandeep has an accent. He's a businessman. So it was a hard run for him, and I actually admire him for that.
Evan, I'll be honest. I don't think most people are going to hear you or Sandeep speak. Most people are not going to hear this interview. You guys should be watching this.
You should.
But they're not. I'll be honest with you, Evan. I like you. I'm just trying to be really straight up with you. Most people, because I've ran for election too, they're not going to hear our voices.
They won't.
What happens is they go in there, they see the R and the D, and that's what they do it. Because the reason I'm bringing it up, Evan, is like, listen, if you're going to go around telling people like donate and help and all this stuff, like, you got to have a realistic plan.
Yeah.
So unless like Self is literally on the Epstein list or something crazy.
Oh, he's voting to keep the Epstein list closed, which I think is a betrayal. He's saying the crazy things.
I agree
He's out
with you.
there. He's out there literally demonizing Islam. He's demonizing Muslims. He's demonizing immigrants. He's demonizing Democrats. He's saying there's this radical left-wing agenda that's trying to take over America. So I'm not the one saying crazy things. We can talk about data all you want, but he's the one saying crazy things.
It's not going to matter, my friend. Not in this type of district.
Well, look, I think that you can, and look,
it's
you've been in politics, but you can let apathy infect you and think that things are unwinnable. But I'm not that type of person.
No, I understand.
I'm in it for
that.
the fight.
I understand that, Evan, but you also have to be realistic. You know, a friend of mine, Alex Villar, he's running against Jasmine Crockett,
Yep.
but he's running against her in a Democratic primary.
Sure.
Because the Republican primary in that district, I would tell the same Republican the same thing I'm telling you. I'm not picking on you because you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican.
Yeah,
if there was a Republican running against Jasmine Crockett, I'd be like, dude, you're delusional. Because that district is even more gerrymandered than this one.
Yes.
Like, it is crazy.
Yes.
And that's just a structural mechanics in these elections.
I think that I think that we are not in normal times. Okay? The Republican Party is not the Republican Party of old. They've abandoned a lot of their conservative values. I'll give you a good
agree with
example.
you.
I want a balanced budget. I'm tired of gaslighting about a balanced budget, and then we added 3.4 trillion to the deficit just to have a bunch of guys run around with masks and AK-47s in our neighborhoods.
What percent of people you think care about a balanced budget? I do. I don't count, but like.
Well, I don't know. You know, look, everybody, because Democrats ask me this too. They go, but how do we win? And I'll tell them, one room at a time, one interview at a time, one person at a time. That's the only way you win. And if your message isn't resonating,
I'm asking you, how many people, what percent of people think care about balanced budget? Republicans say, I don't believe them. I do not believe them. They have control now, but they never balance the budget. I thought it would be even worse on the Democratic side. You guys even talk about the budget?
Oh, I do.
I think you're an exception.
Well,
But
I mean,
besides that-
I mean, look, we could always argue. Like, I could go back and show you how Democratic presidents have been better at balancing the budget than Republicans have in the last 20 years. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm so tired of trying to defend what the Democrats did the last 20 years. I wasn't a Democrat. I was serving my country for 20
It's
years.
not even about what the Democrats did in the past. The question is the current Democrat electorate, do they even care?
They do. They do.
I don't
mean,
think
look,
so.
I'll tell you, man. I've been getting.
You know
out-
why I say that? Because the Republicans, that's supposed to be their issue, and they don't even care.
Well, I would invite you to come to one of my events in a Democratic room.
And I'm going to sit there, and they're going to raise their hand. They're going to ask you about the balanced budget, Evan.
Yeah, because I have a lot of Republicans that have left MAGA Republican Party.
Oh, really?
Because I speak to their conservative values, and it's not just on a balanced budget. It's also on free speech. It's also on freedom of religion. These are core. It's also on strong public schools.
All right, let's do some test questions on you then.
Yeah.
What's your pronouns, Evan?
I don't usually use pronouns.
All right, you pass.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people.
I was hoping for him to say he, him.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you got him.
I don't care if somebody else uses pronouns. Keith Self just tried to legislate. He just spent, I can't tell you how many taxpayer dollars trying to push a bill that outlaws pronouns for state employees. Okay, and then people were raising their hand like, but what about ambassadors that have to use His Excellency? You know, the way this law is written, they're not going to be able to do that, right? And then if I use Mr. Hunt, is that allowed? Well, the way the law is written, it may not, and they just threw the bill out. So talk about a waste of taxpayer dollars. I want America to get back to focusing on 99% issues. Issues that focus on 99%.
You're not a pronoun guy then.
Not a pronoun guy.
Right.
But we can talk about transgender. You want to talk about transgender?
I would just ask you a simple question.
Yeah.
Do you think men can get pregnant?
No.
Well, I guess you're normal. See, they still exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to twist yourself into a pretzel.
No.
And try to explain.
I mean, look, I have to. You think this is hard? The Democrats are harder, man. I mean, primaries are hard. I had a primary opponent.
We have primary problems on the GOP
You know,
side.
they're hard.
I understand.
They become these competitions on who's the biggest progressive, who's the biggest Democrat. But what I'll tell you about transgender is Democrats fell into a trap because Democrats like fighting for little people. They like fighting for the person that's bullied, and they fell into this trap because the reality is, most independents I talk to, the first thing they'll say is, "So you want to put a boy on my girls' sports team?" I think Democrats lost the middle on this issue. And I just tell people, I'm like, I don't want to put a boy on your girls' sports team, but I will tell you it's 2025 and this is Texas. Have you seen the size of our high schools? There's more than enough co-ed bathrooms, co-ed locker rooms, co-ed sports teams to go around. And if there isn't one, I bet the parent of a transgender kid would start one because that's how much they're worried about their kid.
Evan, you seem like you're not a progressive. You seem like more like I guess an old Democrat or something. I don't even know.
They call them, well, there's different terms. Blue Dog Democrats, they call them like LBJ Democrats.
Right, stuff like that.
But I try to avoid those terms because, boy, people love to put you in a box. They love to just say, oh, you're this type of person.
That's politics.
Yep.
So I guess my question would be for you is, why not just run in the Republican primary, where you would actually have a realistic chance of, because whoever wins the primary wins.
Oh, brother,
that's just how it is.
I mean, you're a Republican. But I will tell you, there is zero.
Well, I'm always trying to recruit more Republicans, so maybe I can get you to switch during this interview.
Then you gotta vote Trump out because there's no way to win a Republican primary without being a pro-Trump guy, and I am anti-Trump. I am anti-MAGA.
Then you're not going to win a Republican primary.
That's right. Because they're not actually Republican anymore. Republican has been replaced by MAGA, and it's different. It's different. Those people don't care about a balanced budget, obviously.
I don't think Democrats care about a balanced budget.
Well, you know,
I don't think anyone in this country cares about a balanced budget.
The country needs to care, though, man. I mean, we are leaving a debt to our kids.
I'm with you on that, but the regular people don't care about this stuff. I guess the reason I'm telling you about this is like, I'm very practical about this election stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Ron Paul libertarian Republican.
I have a lot of respect for Ron Paul.
Yeah, great guy. But just practically speaking, you know, Republican primary is where all the action is for a realistic chance of getting elected here. I would hope that you follow the footsteps of the Dallas mayor and convert to our side.
Well, I'll tell you.
Maybe after this election cycle. Hopefully you don't lose by 30 points, Evan. Maybe like 10 points.
I may, and they'll put me out of my misery. You know how it goes. I mean, this is not easy running.
I've lost by 30 points in a primary to Angela Paxton.
But, you know, the best thing for the American people is to have the best of two good choices. So you hear a lot of dialogue right now, like this is a red state, Democrats are evil, get out of our state. No, you know, we need to crush the Democratic Party. Like, actually what we need to do is have really good Democratic candidates and really good Republican candidates, force them to face off in competition, see if they can get the middle to be excited and actually vote. That's the way the party's meant to be.
You can't do that because you got to survive a primary.
Well, I survived my primary. I had a primary opponent, and you know when
Evan, don't even start with me about your. Are you talking about CD3?
Yeah.
Your primary don't mean shit, Evan. Okay, no one gives a shit about the Democratic primary in CD3.
I'll just tell you what they told me when I started. When I started, they said, "Oh, you're way behind. You know, there's this other guy."
That guy was gonna lose too.
I know.
That's like some Republican in Crockett's district be like, I got the Republican nomination, Jasmine Crockett's
But you
district.
see, brother, you're just firing me up more because I love it when
You're gonna knock on
people,
more doors now?
yeah, people. I love it when people tell me that something cannot be done because you know what?
Military. This is
Yep,
military. My wife's in the military too.
you get it, man. You get it. Tell me it can't be done, and that just makes me want to prove to you it can be. And if I lose, okay, I lost. It's not like being a congressperson is a better job. It's not a better job. You have to spend half your time away from the family. It's
No,
not
I know
really
it's not.
good money.
It's not good money.
People, half the country hates you no matter what you say.
That's 100%
Right?
correct. That's
It's
100%
not a better
correct.
job, but I'm in it for deeper reasons than that. The Democratic Party needs to change. The Republican Party needs to change.
Oh, I
I
agree
think
with you.
we're on a dark road.
I agree with you. I see political parties as like vehicles and instruments to bring about change.
Yes,
That's why, to me, I wouldn't be too hung up on the party.
that's right.
You know, and you know, what you say about Trump and MAGA is true. There's a big sway of that in our party,
Yep.
and a lot of it is because they did bring some issues to the forefront, like border and immigration, where no one spoke about.
Yeah,
And that's just what it is. You know,
yeah,
you speak to people's their concerns.
that's right.
You know, from talking to you, you don't seem to have any outlandish beliefs, at least when it comes to like the pronouns. And you seem like a normal guy to me.
I'll tell you what, most people that come to like I'm the candidate. I have all the progressive Democrats in my rooms all the time. Most of them are like me, man. So this myth that they're a bunch of weirdos that all they want to do is talk about pronouns,
All
it's a
right.
myth.
Well, Evan, when they clip this, and when I asked you if men can get pregnant, you said no. They may come for you.
They
Okay?
may.
But we'll have a seat for you at the Republican Party. You can join us.
Hey, you know what? I mean,
What
this
is your
this what
thoughts
it's gonna
on
take.
like the H-1B visa stuff? You think we had the right amount now, or we need more, or we need less?
I think it's a travesty that we just raised the limit to $100,000 when it was $1,000. Uh, I think what makes America great is its immigrant heritage.
Okay.
Okay, and we're not talking about illegals. We're talking about people coming here legally to come work in our companies because those American companies want to bring those people in for their skills. So you see what's happened here. First, they started with the undocumented. It was demonize the undocumented, demonize the poor for problems that only the rich and the powerful can solve. Very quickly, that's moved off because I'm offering like, look, undocumented. If you're undocumented, you're a criminal. Great. Let's go catch the worst first. We outprocess you, no problem. But what we've done now, all of a sudden, is now it's not just illegals, man. It's legal immigrants. It's the legal immigrant process. It is breaking down the lifeblood of America. Okay, and I bet your parents, grandparents, great grandparents, just like mine, came to America when it was a lot easier to come here than it is now. My great grandparents came from fleeing Stalin through Ellis Island. You think they had a big test? I mean, it was like show up and prove you're healthy and you're in the door.
So
My great
you're
grandfather.
okay with the amount of H-1B, or you just want the fee to come back down, or would you want more slots? Like, I'm just trying to figure
I
out.
think
Like,
that American workers need to compete on their merits. They need to.
Evan, you're truly a politician.
I'm telling you, man.
I need you to.
I'm
You don't
telling
have
you.
to. I don't.
We
I
live in
can't
a
compel
global
you to answer
society.
anything.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to figure out, like, because the amount of H-1B visa slots are like fixed. I don't even know what the hell it is. I think it's like it's either 60 or 400,000. I don't know the exact number. Regardless, whatever it is, do you think we need to have the same? Just keep it the same. More slots or less slots? Because that's like what people keep talking about.
I think it should have been the same before Trump changed it to this $100,000 gold.
Well, the
card,
100,000 is just the fee. He didn't actually change the amount of slots.
Same. I'm good with the slots. It
good
doesn't
with the
really
same
matter.
slots?
I'm not
Okay.
scared of immigration.
I guess the question is,
So who's scared of immigration in this country? Like,
it's
I mean,
not just scared. Like some
legal
people have,
immigration. What's the problem with legal immigrants?
Sure, I'll tell you the concerns that we have. My dad came here as an immigrant, actually. Okay, that was a different country. That was a different time. That's when we need a lot of immigrants. Now, people like me have to worry about my future kids getting jobs here and competing with Americans. One example I would give is like healthcare, for example. They keep building more medical schools in this country. Okay.
Yep.
But they don't make more residency spots. The residency spots are fixed because they're funded by Medicare.
Sure.
And Medicare is not giving the funding to open up new spots. So we have U.S. grads competing for residency spots, and we're also bringing in people, overseas doctors, here to compete with those same residency spots. Now, listen, I've been paying FICA tax my whole life. So have you. My kids will probably be paying it too.
Yeah.
I would prefer that we would have less of those doctors coming in and competing now. Because the problem is we're having more of these med schools, more graduates,
Yeah.
and they're not there's not enough spots. So it's not like 50, 30 years ago.
I think there's probably, and it may already exist. There's probably some really reasonable bipartisan legislation that's been proposed out there
I don't
to
have
fix
any.
some of those
I don't
problems,
have any hope. Well, they would have to increase the funding for
or
Medicare.
give preference to American citizens.
They
Do a
should.
point scale.
But that's just one aspect. I think even like some immigrants are starting to realize this. Like some of the ones who are in like their 50s or 60s are like, okay, my kid is going to graduate college soon,
Yeah.
and he's going to have to compete in the job market with legal immigrants.
Brother, I got a 19-year-old son who's a freshman in college, and he grew up very American. I'm concerned about him competing, but I'm not really that concerned about him competing against immigrants. I'm concerned about competition in general because
I mean, it's
what
a
do we
numbers
have?
game, my friend. The
Well,
more
it's
people
not.
come here, the more competition you got.
We have a lot of problems though. I'll tell you. Like what we're doing now is we are sending a message to the world: don't come here. And American industry has thrived off of, frankly, other countries' talent, other countries' technology, converting their materials into our services. That's how American industry has grown. And all of a sudden, there's a massive decrease in people coming here. And you know where they're going? They're not going to come here. They're going to go to China. They're not going to buy their goods here. They're going to buy their goods from China. And we are, so it's not like we're in this vacuum where if we don't let people in here, everything's fine. We actually send them to our competitors. So we send the world's greatest talent who used to come here, the world's greatest doctors, the world's greatest military leaders, all used to come to America. And they got indoctrinated in American culture. So if I go to Saudi Arabia, half the Saudis I meet were Western educated. And it's like talking to a brother. Now, half of them are not.
That sounds great for Saudi Arabia.
Well, it's actually great for us too because that's soft power. That's how you become the most powerful
I think
power in the world,
there
and that's what we've
been
been.
an argument for that decades ago. The question is now that we have and by the way, it's not just legal immigration we have to worry about for jobs. We have automation as well.
Yeah,
And
that's a much bigger problem. AI. We should be regulating AI,
there's a lot of
not
stuff
regulating
that's
immigration.
going to happen, and I get it. You know, you guys want to say you want to. We're open for immigration. Nobody wants to be the guy that says, there's too many people here right now. We need to slow it down. I'm sorry. We need to prioritize Americans because no one wants to be called racist.
Prioritize Americans. So, okay, if you're prioritizing Americans, why don't we raise the minimum wage? Why should anybody work a 12-hour day and not be able to put food on the table and pay the rent?
Well, the
So,
minimum wage.
we talk about prioritizing Americans, just for clarity, and then we don't prioritize Americans. All we're doing is shutting out other people that want to come here and work.
So the minimum wage is a discussion about economics.
Yes.
Do you believe in price control? I don't believe in price control.
I don't believe in price control, but I
Well,
agree
minimum wage is the price on labor. So
But
that is price control. Like, what's the minimum wage in Texas?
it's like $7.50.
No one's getting paid $7.50.
So most people get paid like 10 to 12 for starter jobs.
Yeah, the market kind of fixed this stuff.
Yeah. If it
I've challenged people to find me a job posting for $7.50.
Yeah.
If you find one, let me know.
I know. I was surprised when my son got a job at Jersey Mike's and he
like,
was getting
these
pretty good money.
laws are just because like when people say let's make the minimum wage higher, I'm like that's not going to fix it. Okay, that's just an artificial thing.
Well,
It's
I do think the government has a role, just for clarity. I think the government has a role in making sure there's a level playing field for industry to encourage
agree.
competition.
That's why I think we should have less foreigners coming here to make it more level for Americans.
Foreigner. I mean, okay, so I've been in industry the last 12 years. Very rarely do I see jobs go to people coming from overseas. Have you? I mean, so you
And
brought
medicine,
up,
yeah, we see a lot of, and they're great
but we don't have
doctors. I don't
enough.
have
We
a
don't have
problem
enough
with them.
doctors.
We do have in some rural. We have enough doctors. We just don't have enough in like other areas.
We don't have enough OBGYNs in Texas.
But the problem
We're like
is that
30% down.
But here's the problem. That's a great point. We don't have enough residency spots. This is the problem. So for those little amount of residency spots left, you have foreigners competing. So it doesn't matter. So if we're fucked anyway with the limited residency spots, we might as well have a more American grads
Okay, but
going.
let's think bolder, right? This is a great discussion. So we've tried isolationism before. We've tried it in America. We've tried America First before. It was in the 30s and 40s. It led directly to World War II.
Well, I don't think that's the reason.
Well, I'll tell you. If you go back and you look at the rhetoric,
we had World War II.
well, no, we tried to stay out of it. We had a whole approach that European wars are not our wars. We're not getting involved. We don't care. It literally took Japan bombing Pearl Harbor for us to get involved. So we have tried America First before. The only way we're talking global competition. America is always in a global competition. It's not America in a vacuum. What's happening here leads to other things. If we don't take the best minds here, they go to China, or they go to another foreign
Do you
power.
really think that
Mhm.
these corporations are really bringing these foreigners here because they have the best minds? Do you think something else is a reason why they're bringing all these H-1B visa people here?
Well, I'm curious. Well, what do you think?
I asked you.
I think that yeah, I think that these people are willing to work more than Americans are a lot of the time. They are going to work hard. They have better grades. They have better
Why do you think that is?
because, man, people that are really looking for a better life, people that are not entitled, work. And
There,
what
there's
we have in America,
there
and
is some truth to that.
people in America are entitled. I do not want to tell Americans, oh, guess what? You're just going to get this job because you're American. No, you need to compete. And you don't need to just compete against Americans. You need to compete on the global stage
Well,
because we're in a global
I
arena.
think that's the issue, Evan, is that a lot of people they don't want to make it harder for their children to find jobs and have to compete like that. And I'll agree on some
And they're
points.
weakening our country.
I don't think that's what it is. Here's the issue, and no one wants to say it, is that because I know people on these H-1B visas,
Yeah,
the employers that hire them,
yeah,
they have them hostage. If you're not willing to work the crazy hours and do exactly what they
sure,
say, you lose your sponsorship and you're going out. You have no rights, basically.
sure.
That's what this is. That's why they're bringing them in here because they know they can pay them less and increase their corporate
Okay,
profits.
now we're
Now,
talking because
I have no
that is an
problem.
issue that can be solved.
Now, I have no problem with corporations making profits,
No?
but I'm not going to allow them to like disenfranchise Americans by bringing in foreign
Oh,
labor.
brother, you're sounding like a Democrat now. I mean, I'm
Well,
telling
I'm
you.
trying to stop more immigration here, so I think I'm maybe sounding more like a Republican.
Well, when you
I mean,
start talking,
well, then
when
again, I
you
don't even
when
believe.
you start blaming corporations, I mean, look, I've worked in corporations the last 12 years.
Well,
Corporations are.
I don't blame corporations.
I'm just
Corporations do what the environment allows them to do. And if
exactly.
the government is bringing in more foreigners for them to get cheap labor, then the government needs to stop doing that.
But you just created a scenario where you said, oh well, they've got them over a barrel, they got them as hostage. Like the government can also put boundaries there that don't make that happen. So we don't block out the best talent, but we also don't give all the power to the corporation to just use and abuse an immigrant worker that comes in here on
What
H-1B.
would you suppose? What would you propose?
I
Would you?
don't. I wonder. We should look at it.
I think
I
what
don't pretend to have all the answers,
I
but
think they should consider limiting it to the best and brightest.
I would be down
I
for
think
that
that's
too.
what they should do.
I would be down for that
But the
discussion.
truth is, neither party is interested in this. See,
Well, you
everyone.
see, but here's the thing. I don't really care what I. This happens a lot in political discussions. It's like, well, when you're a Democrat, Hakeem Jeffries is going to be the speaker. You're going to do everything he says, or I don't care. Like I am running to be my own person. If I can't be my own person, I can't have real discussions. Then what are we doing?
I just don't I don't see actual. I don't know you personally, so I don't know how much your resolve is on this issue.
Yeah,
I take Trump for example. You know, a few weeks ago he said he's going to bring 600,000 Chinese students to America.
yeah.
Um, I don't agree with that. I mean,
I
I voted for Trump,
well,
but
my
none of us decided to vote for Trump, and we were thinking, you know what this country really needs right now? We need 600,000 Chinese students.
I mean, man,
How about we do this? How about we bring 1,000 maybe, and
uh,
let's take it from there?
my problem with this is a great example with Trump. There's a lot of kiss the ring politics. Okay, so it's not really about an overall policy.
So
Sometimes he talks in absolutes.
what do you think of this policy? You think we should have 600,000 Chinese students coming here?
I think that I don't know why he did that. I would like to understand why that happened in
Well, I'm
this.
asking your opinion. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends. I mean, it depends. Is there a
Do you-
deluge of talent in the industry we have? Because, like, I'll give you a great example. If we desperately need radar engineers and we don't have any radar engineers here, we've got thousands of openings and nobody's filling them.
All right, so
Then
you're open to this possibility then?
I'm open to any possibility
He's a
that
MAGA Republican. God damn it. Great.
I'm open.
They're all the same.
I'm so far from a MAGA Republican. I mean, look, at the end of the day,
We don't need 600,000 Chinese students coming here. Maybe we can try with like 1,000
then you
and
should
keep the best ones.
You should vote Trump out because that's his idea, not mine.
We have the way we do elections is every 4 years. We kind of just let it play out.
Man, the only
And
way
the Democrats probably want probably 6 million Chinese students to come in. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's not accurate
It's a
either.
little hyperbolic, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe a million, not 600,000.
I don't know. We had on average. Yes, we have a lot of immigration here. I think we should absolutely look at immigration reform that makes sure we're getting the best and brightest, best and brightest. That it's hard for bad people to get in, and frankly, I think it should be easy for people that want to come in and work to come in. Like, if my son can't compete in an industry because some kid from India is better, well, then maybe he should go into a different industry, man. I don't
See,
want to.
that's the thing,
That's a
you know.
very conservative approach, actually.
It's not, because the problem is this with this approach is that I've lived here all my life. I've been paying Social Security, Medicare, and income tax. My kid will be probably paying that as well.
Sure.
And when he's getting into the serious job market in his mid 20s, it's really not fair for him to compete with a job with someone who hasn't been paying our taxes all of a sudden. That's just not cool.
Well, that's not really the way it works. I mean, you're a benefit of social. There's a benefit to that. You get your entitlement at the end of when you retire.
Allegedly.
If Trump doesn't kill it or privatize it,
I think
and I think that's at risk.
I
I agree
think
with you.
the issue of Social Security is a multi-generational administration problem. I don't think Trump is going to be the one, but I
But
think
just because you are American,
the point stands though is that we've all paid into this system a lot.
kind of. I mean, but you
No,
know what?
it's not kind of. I can check my check.
Okay,
They
you
take
can
it out every year.
you can go down a rabbit hole though. How many years has your family been here in America?
I don't know, a long time, I guess.
Like, when did they originally immigrant here?
My mom is black, so they've been here forever, I guess. And then my dad, probably in his mid 70s.
Okay, so here's my point. This is the I've been in so many rooms where people say, "You're not a true Texan. I'm a true Texan. You're not a true American. I'm a true American." When you start dividing what makes somebody entitled to the American system and what doesn't, it starts to get really squirrely, man. And you open this conversation to, well, who's really entitled and who's not, and who should be entitled. Like the
No, I don't think people who are already here should not be entitled. My question is, someone who's never even been here, I don't I don't see the point in trying to make it. We paid into the system. My kids will be paying it too. And you say, you wouldn't mind if a foreigner comes and competes against them. I do mind, because I've been paying taxes. My kid has probably been paying some taxes too. And that person who just come here has not been paying into our system. And then all of a sudden they get to have like the same playing
I
field.
would tell you that if our system was working properly and we fixed our public schools, then you wouldn't have to worry about competing abroad. You wouldn't have to worry about another kid being better than your kid.
Well, why would we even have to open it to that level of competition? We should
Well,
have
you're,
some
you're trying
foreigners.
to you're trying to actually close competition. So the free
No,
market,
my-
the free market doesn't work in an American vacuum. The free market, all of our trade is connected all around the
No,
world.
I understand that, but that's a different. Trading is fine, but that's different than like bringing a foreigner here who hasn't paid in. By the way, I'm not saying no immigration, but the amount of level now is just absurd. Like
Well,
people,
not anymore. It's done now.
I don't think so. I think Trump is going to do exactly what he did with the illegals. If you work on a farm in a hotel, you can say that H-1B visa, the 100K thing. There's exceptions in there for industries that benefit America's national interests. You'll probably flake on that too. Give exemptions for IT and medicine. Yeah, this whole thing.
You're
is
not really Republican. You're just
No, I know
you're
exactly.
disaffected.
I just know exactly what I stand for, because I see this. I don't see this as like a ideological thing. I'm seeing this as a practical thing. Like, I pay a lot of taxes. My kids are going to pay taxes. How is it okay where someone just gets to come here from, hell, my own dad's country, Iran, not paid anything, and now we're supposed to say, oh, now it's an equal level for that doesn't benefit. Globally, yes, that would make things equal. But
Well, you
should
have
your-
a
should
lot
your-
of rights
should
as a
your
citizen.
priority be to globalize the playing field, or just to make sure the American worker has the biggest advantage?
The only thing I would say is the way we've had it since World War II has made us the most powerful and richest country in the world.
I agree with you.
Since World War II. So I wouldn't look at what Trump's done the last 4 or 8 years or what Biden's done. I would say, what's been our policy? Our policy has been globalism and soft power.
I agree with you.
And so
But here's
that
the
has
thing.
worked.
Things change with time. Like when my dad came here, like there was a lot of people coming. Like we needed it. Now with automation kicking,
man.
there's so many things changing now.
I'm
We just
telling you,
don't
man,
need that level.
I'm telling you, people said the same thing back then that they knew now. They said we don't need those foreigners. We need to focus on American industry. They said the same thing, and they were just as scared of Iranian immigrants. This
numbers
has
don't
been the
reflect
same
that
story
anymore.
every time. There's so much land in this country. There's so much opportunity
The
in this
numbers
country.
don't reflect that anymore, because back then, when my dad was here, it was easy. You could buy a house. Like when you're a young person, you had a chance. Like the
See,
economy
here we
was
go.
totally different.
But here's the thing, and this is great we're talking about this, because this is Trump's whole play. He says the reason you can't buy a house is because of the immigrants.
That's not what I'm saying. What
And
I'm
I would
saying is,
say, well, no, we got much deeper
well, that's not what I'm
problems.
saying at all. What I'm trying to explain to you is the economy was different back then. That's why it was easier to buy a house. That's why we could bring in immigrants to fill out all these slots. we're in a different economy than we were 50 years ago. It's not unreasonable to try to take a look at it and be like, you know what? Maybe the amount of people coming in here is not exactly what we need.
Yeah, we just disagree on the solution. So the problem is not immigrants. The problem is not that the immigrants have taken the job. The reason
I mean,
the reason the middle class
let's
is
be honest. Immigrants take a lot of jobs. I mean,
I've
that's
I've I've never actually competed against an immigrant for a job, and I don't know. I mean, I've lived in border states my whole life. Every immigrant I've met has been a hard worker that, frankly,
I
was
think
doing a
they're
job that an
I think they're
American
some of
wouldn't
the
want.
I think they're some of the hardest workers. I've hired some of myself. But again,
Okay.
you're running for Congress. The question is your priority to try to make it easier for Americans to get jobs or to globalize the playing field for everyone?
My priority is to actually fix the problem and not scapegoat an entire section of people with something that is not the problem.
That's a politician answer, I
No,
think.
no, I'll tell you. Right now, the middle class, all of a sudden, is not growing anymore. It's shrinking. So that means the American dream is shrinking because we used to transition people from the lower class to middle class.
So how would bringing more people here would help with the middle class?
Because it's not a problem. It's not a labor problem. It's not a problem of the competition here. I mean, everybody's so worried about competition. The problem is we have corporations that are unbound. We've transitioned a lot of public services to private services. We have a tax revenue problem. We have not created a level playing field for people to transition out of the lower class and the middle class. And it's not immigration that's doing that. It's not legal immigration. It is a much deeper problem. The billionaire class is the richest, is the fastest growing class in this country.
Well, that's thanks to the government allowing them to have cheap labor from overseas.
It's not just that, man. We need tax reform. That means that everybody pays their fair share. There's no reason anybody should pay less taxes than you or I do. No reason. I don't care if you're a super owner. I don't care if you reinvested all your money into stocks and you bought properties and you shipped this company overseas. I don't care. You know what I mean? If you're living like somebody who makes $10+ million a year, you better at least pay as much taxes as I am. And that means we have loopholes in the system. And so we have deep, deep systemic problems. And what Trump has done is he's tried to tell everybody, he's convinced everybody, the reason you have those problems is because we've been letting too many immigrants in. And it started with illegals. It started with just illegals. And now all of a sudden it's all immigrants.
The illegals are a problem, my friend. And there's no denying the numbers. I mean, you make a very passionate speech, but like for regular people just watching, like people in independence are like, yeah, if they bring more people to compete with us with jobs, it's going to be hard to get jobs.
I mean, I'm not defending illegals.
No,
Illegals have
I'm
their
talking
own
about I'm
problem.
talking about legals as well.
With illegals, I mean, I would just say this is the way
Tough up
America.
and just
No, I would
compete,
say
I
this
guess.
is the way America's always been. I would say you've always had to compete on a global scale. Guess what? Time to pull up your bootstraps. America isn't. You aren't entitled because you were born in America.
I think some people may just feel that their government should try to hold their interests better than worrying about giving jobs to foreigners.
I mean, okay, if they feel like their government should hold their interests, then we shouldn't cut SNAP benefits. We shouldn't be talking about losing Social Security.
You know, a lot of Americans are not looking for handouts. They just want a level playing field. And they just feel like it's kind of cheap that, like, I pay all my taxes, and now you're bringing in someone who's never paid taxes in the country, and I got to compete with them for a job.
Well,
People are not asking for free
as
stuff.
soon as they're here, they're paying taxes.
I know, but people have been paying taxes for years.
So
Here.
So should we have a competition on who's paying taxes, and whoever's paying more taxes gets entitled? Because then Trump should never have been president. He doesn't pay taxes at all.
We're talking about Americans who are here.
I'm talking about Americans, man. I'm telling you that the amount of taxes you paid is not an indicator of how entitled to a job you are. What you are entitled to a job.
I'm not saying
because
I'm
you earned
entitled
it.
to. No one's saying you're entitled to a job. We're saying that we don't. If we're paying all this taxes, we don't think the playing field is even. If you're bringing in a foreigner who's never had to pay taxes for me to compete against.
Okay, give me an exact example of that.
Like say I pay a lot of taxes, right? A lot, and my kid, you know, when she's grown, she'll probably pay some taxes too by the time she's in her mid-20s.
Yep.
So I pay taxes, she's paid taxes, she's going to enter the job market, and then someone from Iran will come who's never paid into the U.S. system, and now they're both going to compete for a job.
You think that she's going to lose a job to the Iranian?
I don't know I don't know what will happen, but a lot of Americans kind of think like, why?
I would love to see statistics on how many Americans lose jobs to immigrants. I think that's a reasonable thing for us to look at.
Even if they don't, let's just say they don't, right?
I don't think they do.
Okay, I mean, obviously there's some jobs are being
Some.
lost, but
Some.
let's just say they're not, right? People will still have to ask the question like, why are we even opening ourselves to this?
Well, because there's a benefit to it.
But the
So
average
there's-
American It's like I'm looking at this. I'm like, I don't see the benefit. I want my daughter to get a job.
There's a huge return on investment to bringing people into our country and having them Western educated, even if they go back home.
No, I understand there's some soft power to it, but
It's
I
not
don't.
just soft power, man. They start businesses.
Do you think those would have not been found by regular Americans if given the chance?
Oh, many of the jobs wouldn't have been.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of the jobs are like, I'll give you a good example with our Indian American community. There are tons of Indian American small business owners. A lot of their jobs are all about leveraging Indian goods or Indian culture, bringing it to our society, or taking American things, shipping them back over there. It's very hard to start an international business if you're not an international person, right? So, like, I just,
So
we cannot become a society
So
that
that's
just,
actually what I would say is like there's a lot of Indian Americans here, and they're like second, third generation,
yes.
and they actually feel the way I feel. They're like, I don't want my kid competing against someone who just came from India.
Well, I've been in tons of Indian rooms that don't feel that way at all. I mean, I'll tell you, the Indians in this country, Indians in our third district, I mean, they are incredibly academic, they're incredibly high performing, and they're not worried about competing against somebody else because they tend to have kids getting the best
Ask
grades.
them about their kids competing. They'll give you a different answer.
Well, I mean, I've talked to them. I mean, you know what they're more worried about? Their cousin who was going to come here on H-1B to move to their community that now can't because the company won't pay for it. They're more worried about that. Like when you're an immigrant family, you know, newer immigrants, these people come here in communities, and the H-1B process, the legal immigration process, it all enables that. So now you're telling people, guess what? Your cousins, your family, they can't come here. And you know what happens when you do that? They start shipping money home. Instead of shipping their people here, they ship money home. And this is what I mean by a global society. Like we cannot be afraid of competing in the world. We cannot be afraid of it. And if you are making decisions based off of fear, if you're making decisions because you want to give your own kid a leg up, then guess what? Maybe you should look back at DEI. That's what DEI was all about. That was part of. I like the idea of DEI. I don't like the idea of lifting certain people above others because of certain unequal things.
That's not what people are. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that within our country, you know, we should have a equal playing field for Americans. Not that we bring in other people to compete against them.
Sure.
Like what you're describing would be DEI globally, but a lot of people, and I think that's probably where the Democratic Party is a bit out of touch with the regular American, because now the way the economy is becoming now is becoming more harder to own a house. It's just becoming more hard to do everything, and now it seems like the Democratic Party is more worried about
I mean, again,
immigrants.
the Republican Party's worried about immigrants. I'm not worried about immigrants at all. I don't think anything needs to change. I think we should have just left it as is,
I
but
think-
we should have locked down our borders because we had too many illegals here. That's one thing, okay?
Well, that's a whole different
But
discussion.
problems with housing insurance,
I
problems
think
with
we're
public school.
I think we're in agreement with the illegals.
We
I
are.
think for
The only thing I think we don't agree on. I don't think we need men marching around with masks unidentified with AK-47s in or assault rifles in our neighborhoods.
That's a scary picture. But I guess I would ask you is, do you think all undocumented people or illegals should go back?
I think that it's complicated because you've got some look. You
And I'll
have
be
some
honest,
American kids
and that's
who have
the
parents
thing,
who are
right?
undocumented.
And that's the thing, right? Like some people in this country, they don't believe that. They think they didn't come here right. They got to go back, and again, it's either more competition for work.
I mean, if the American people want that, that's fine. I would just say, I would say that we should have, it's been bipartisan for the last 20 years. We should have pathways to legal recognition for people in complex situations where they have an American kid because they do, right? So you're not kicking an American citizen out or tearing apart a family. You encourage people to come out of the shadows, and you encourage them to earn their legal recognition by paying into our system and by registering legally, right? Now, if people really don't want that, they just want us to deport everybody, well, fine. I would still argue you don't need people that look like Navy SEALs running around our neighborhoods.
Sure.
You could just literally give more money to the police department, the local police department, friendly neighborhood police department to catch criminals. If those criminals are then undocumented, you deport them. So this is my problem. There's all